change. They want me to change, but I ain't changing. Nah, I remain the same.
And you are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you in concert with a beautiful machine magazine, as well as the mighty Nerd DJs Radio Network. You already know, man. Week after week, year after year, day after day, we only rock with legends around here. And today we have one of Detroit's finest in the history of Detroit, Michigan, going back to whatever the fuck my hat says. You read it. Anyway, we got the man, the myth, the legend, the choir is in the building. How you doing, King? How's life?
What's going on, my guy? Everything is everything on the up and up, you know. You heard?
That's
What's
what's
up,
up.
Detroit? What's up,
What up,
everybody?
bud?
How y'all doing?
How's your family?
Man, the family was doing fantastic, man. We're thriving, we're building, and then that's all you can really ask for. Everybody in good health and we building wealth. You know, that's all you can really ask for.
First song you ever made?
First song I ever made was a bar song, and I actually ended up winning it in an independent artist showcase. I placed first place out of I think it was 50 participants, and it was
Okay.
called No Way.
Mm. And where'd you make it at?
Made it over at the time what was United Sound, which is a
Mm.
very historic landmark in Detroit, Michigan. Motown used to have a couple studios that they recorded out of, and that was one of the more infamous recording studios where Parliament and Funk, George Clinton, and a lot of the greats recorded music. So I had the luxury of having that history behind me when I made that record.
Yo, George Clinton was a wild motherfucker, bro.
Oh, for sure. I,
Yo,
I
that
mean, I, I mean, flat out, I would go in Studio A and record, and I could still smell the smoke from back in the day. Like, like they was a different breed, man.
Yo, my mama used to tell me stories of them niggas performing in Hart Plaza for free back in her day.
Facts, man.
Yo,
Back
i-
in the
if
day, man. Something
if there's a
crazy.
musical era you could go back to, which one would it be?
Man, that's tough. That's tough, man. It's a lot of good eras, and I think, that's where it gets into a big debate. Like oftentimes about music, like what was the best
Mhm.
era? Because the '90s was crazy. You talking house music, you talking New Jack Swing. You know what I mean? You talking great R&B. But then if you go into them '60s and '70s, you talking about the beginning of something great with doo-wop. And leading that into the disco era. So it's like really it's a toss up for me, man. But if I'm gonna have to call it, I'm gonna have to say as a '90s baby, I'm gonna rock with my '90s folks. I gotta say, the '90s was great.
See, I grew up in the 90s, but I was born in the 70s.
Mm,
And yo, the longer I'm alive, the better the 70s get.
mm,
Like in the 90s, I got real life memories to shit in the 90s.
yeah, yeah.
But just from a quality of music, and them niggas back in the 70s would have like 8,000 niggas playing on the song.
Oh, flat out
Crazy work. The
instrumentation,
arrangement,
man.
oh my god, like the shit that they had to go through to really make a hit was astronomically more difficult than I think any other era.
Absolutely, without
You
a
know,
doubt. I mean, to your point, man. When you think back to it, even with Motown, man, like Barry Gordy, they treated every record like the assembly line. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And like, what I'm saying, if it didn't pass all the checks after it went through the line, it's going right back to the beginning. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? And so the artistry, the techniques to create the sound and analog versus even a digital sound, at the time was, and you were talking about rolling on tape. You know what I'm
Nigga.
saying? So
Oh,
it's not the
and,
same as, hey, run that
yo,
back, run that back. Nah, man, we run out of tape. Like,
shit,
you
before
know,
analog when they was doing reel to reels.
real to real.
Nigga. Now that's got oh my
Talking
god,
about
man.
having to have your part down and be in the pocket. Come on, man.
Buddy, because y'all get one take, bro, and we out of here. Or you
Right.
get fired, that type of shit. Okay,
Yeah.
so do you have a particular process when you write a song?
It's a couple different ways I go about it. The
Mhm,
more traditional way for me is beat first. Like if somebody gives me instrumentation or something first, then that's easy for me to just kind of listen to, get the melody in my mind. And what I would typically do if I get the beat first is I don't even use lyrics. Like I would just make tones.
Mhm.
So I would kind of just like, for example, like if you got Marietta, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, I would just kind of like mm, mm, until I figure out like what melody I like first. And then once I got the melody, then I started putting words to pen, and
Mhm.
start figuring out, okay, like, okay, what do I want to say? What do I want to talk about? So that's one method. And then the second most common method for me is concept first. Like I'm a big idea man when it comes to music. So it's like initially, my first thoughts are, okay, what's trending in the industry right now? What's trending in the world? What's common, amongst the folks in the community? Like, what are
Mhm.
things that we need to talk about? What are things that we haven't talked about? And then I take a concept, based on things that are, relevant to the times that we're in, or sometimes even borrowing a concept from the past, and I'll make it relevant to today. Um, so those typically kind of feed into my writing process and my creating process.
Most recent song that you put out.
The most recent song that I released was on Cinco de Mayo. It was a song called Chillerita. We did ended up doing like a competition downtown Detroit amongst various mini bars to see who had the best margarita in downtown during Cinco de Mayo.
Mhm.
A solid friend of mine named Mr. Fancy. He helped feature on that album, and he provided the bilingual aspect of the music. So we were able to kind of really approach the song in a very, culturally respectful way, but also to give it a vibe that people can enjoy every year come Cinco de Mayo. So super excited about that. It initially was a record that was being cut for Chili's during one of their competitions for a jingle,
Okay.
but they ended up going a different direction. I think with like more like a Western sound for that commercial. Yeah, so I mean, no shade, but it just didn't seem
I
like that would
mean,
make a lot of sense. But
white
you know,
folks is popular now.
it's trendy.
Yeah.
Western is trendy,
They
and
did.
it
The
definitely is
orange
trending
guy,
out. Was
the orange guy that made them motherfuckers go. Everybody trying to be conservative now.
facts,
You
facts.
know.
Yeah, I would give you that. I would definitely give you that. I would say though that I mean, it did create opportunity for us though. When you life give you lemons, you make lemonade. So it was like, well, shoot, we got to, pretty good far along into the process. So let's just convert it into an actual record, and that's what we did.
And
So
when
stay
I say white
tuned.
people, I mean like when I say conservatives, I meant the white people,
Oh yeah, no
respectfully.
doubt, no
Uh,
doubt.
I heard that shit back in my head, like, ooh, let me clean that up real quick, because I didn't like the way that sound. Yo, okay, and political shit. Are you big on that, or is that something that you feel is not necessarily anything you want to address like publicly?
Oh, politics is a major, major, major backbone of mine. And even in my music. So I think essentially Brown Sugar and Spice has some conscious elements in it,
Hmm.
which is the name of my debut album. Brown represents the conscious elements of a black woman. Sugar is the sweetness, the serenity, and Spice is the attitude, the sass, the eroticism, the romance. So you say what is a girl made of? A lot of times the girls they say sugar and spice and everything nice, but I say what is a black woman made of, and that's what gave me the name of the album, Brown Sugar and Spice, because I think they made of brown sugar, spice, and everything twice as nice. So
Yo,
I'm definitely much into politics. In fact, I have a few records that I plan to cut at the beginning of the year that I think are a representation of the times that we're in.
mhm.
And a lot of that inspiration came from Nina Simone. So, I'm a big scholar when it comes to music, and Nina Simone was very much adamant about a true artist being reflective of their music with the times. And I'm definitely one that's not afraid to shy away from using my voice.
And you know what, I love that. But I disagree a little bit with her in that like there are true artists that just write love songs
Hmm.
that they stick.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So I don't, or they maybe, like especially like the Bee Gees or some shit, just off
Hmm.
the top of my head. Them niggas made a lot of fucking money too, by the way.
Oh,
Uh,
fact.
yo,
Still making money.
the disco era was the Bee Gees, and then it was other people. But yo, like like I think you can if you do symphonies or you do, a jazz production or Like you can be a true musician without necessarily having to tackle political issues. I think people love you more if you do.
I think that I would kind of counter that a little bit to say yes and
Mhm.
no. Like,
Okay.
only because even if you're just a love songwriter, the love and expression of that story that you're telling is going to change with the times too, if you're really keeping up with what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I kind of feel like, for example, right now, one of the biggest things in our community that's been become a struggle or a focal point has been this man versus woman thing,
Oh
right?
God,
Like,
yeah.
it's crazy, right? So it'd be kind of hard to like continue to just write a whole bunch of love music and never address that in some capacity, even if that's poetically done, or if that's some kind of clever way that you address it. Like, it's like, man, like, that's something that's really affecting people's relationships in the community right now. So
Yeah, man. But I also who was that I saw? I think it was a Tank, and he was saying that black love is the threat.
hmm
And yo, that hit home so much because he was like, it's some white guy. He sang a song, "Stay with Me." That was it. And he was
yeah,
like, when that dude sang it, it was everywhere. So I could
yeah,
sing the same fucking song, and it's not
hmm
going to be everywhere. But if I'm talking about bitches and hoes, it's everywhere. He said
oh yeah,
because us killing each other is not a problem. Us loving
hmm
each other is.
yes, because that, what
Yo,
does that create? That creates what? Unity.
man, and we so much stronger when we're together. Okay, let me.
Yeah.
Who's made a perfect album for you?
Marvin Gaye, that's number one right off the bat. Like, I love the I Want You.
Mhm.
Um man, man, that's a powerful album for me. I love Maxwell's Urban Hanger Suite.
That's fire too.
Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, man. Super crazy. Um yeah, man. I think Confessions was cool, but if I'm saying like perfection, like, yeah, Urban Hanger Suite, man. I loved Urban Hanger Suite. Um
I'm low key
and
gonna take Confessions over. Actually, I'm not even gonna low key do it. I'm absolutely taking Confessions over Urban Hank Suite.
yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's not even close, man. I fucks with Maxwell. Maxwell, but come on, Usher in his bag.
I mean, we got some major legendary hits and smashes on that. I'm not going to even like debate you on that one. But what I will say that it probably makes me a little bit more biased to Maxwell
Mm,
is that instrumentation of funk that
mm.
was a good blend with R&B. And I think for me at that time and stage of my artistry, I grew to love that, and I was like, man, that guy's cool. Like, like, I don't know how he put that together, but that guy's cool. Like, Usher was just like, I grew up watching that era. It was millennium era. So it was like, R. Kelly, Usher, Mario, like Chris Brown, Trey Songz. Like, that was what I was watching every day. Lloyd, all those guys. Like,
Yeah,
so to me, like, it was great, but like to see something that wasn't what I was used to seeing in Urban Hanger Suite when I finally caught up to it, it was like, oh man, like, that's kind of cool.
yeah. Maxwell made grown ass man music.
Facts.
Not to say that Usher didn't make grown man music, but like he made grown ass nigga. I got a 401k, and a mortgage music.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yo,
Yep. And I think the other thing about that too is I kind of model some of my vocal ability after him as well. So I think that might be some of my bias, but yeah,
I
no,
mean,
it's
you
a
can't
lot.
go wrong.
Facts.
Nigga's dope. What do you think of Brian McKnight, like musically?
Musically, love the man. I mean, talking about a family that's talented, Brian McKnight alone though stood alone, and outside of his brother, I was it Take Six, I want to say it was called. Um, outside of his brother and his group, like, Brian could stand on his own and could play a lot of instruments, which is, I think, really true musicianship. Not just being able to vocally sing, but you can also play an instrument. Like, you're a musician. Like, so for him to be able to do that, I thought he was phenomenal. I think that I was a big fan of also his credits in various sitcoms like Martin Show and Even on Kobe Bryant's little, debut little record, Brian McKnight was on playing pickup ball, like, which was kind of funny. But the man was cool, man. I
Oh
actually,
my
when I was growing up, I actually used to mimic that same little segue that he did with the Martin show when he proposed, because that was the way I was at that time. I ain't had too much, giving with the young lady, so I was just, I was singing, so that was my way in. I was like, I'm gonna sing this song.
did it ever work though?
Oh, all the time,
Really?
all the time.
Oh, I
I've
mean,
had, I've had, I used to sing Sweetograms in high school, man, and I remember like one time I was singing, what was I singing? I was singing Tyrese lately. And they paying, they pay for you to go sing to they
right,
chicks. So,
right.
mind you, I was a monster. So like I get up there and I'm singing lately and I'm looking into her eyes real deeply.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? And she get to looking and twisting. Homie come and put her right up next to her, like, hey man, while I'm singing, and it's like, you know, that should do it, man. Sometimes the way to a woman's heart is through her ears. And sometimes you can do that in a way where it's, they can hear the things that they need to hear that maybe they ain't heard in a while, or maybe that encouragement they ain't heard, or maybe they ain't been told, that they was loved on, or that they look beautiful by the person they with. Maybe the person they with ain't the greatest. So when they hear that refreshing sound, not only just being said to them verbally, but also sonically within the music, it's a way to pull at the heartstring a little bit, I would say.
That's pretty dumb on his part though, bro.
You're setting yourself up for failure, man.
Right.
You might as well just give
I'm
us a
not
flower to
hiring no
call it a
dude to
day.
do a motherfucking thing outside of cook a meal. I have hired a chef. Hey, they come in, they got most of their shit already together. They
Yeah.
use the stove and they go the fuck home.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It's no performative art. This nigga looks like dad bod 101. I'm not hiring no nigga to come sing to my old lady, bro.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
Uh,
dangerous. Danger.
okay.
Like what Kel say, don't leave a chick in the club if he that's the same thing, man. Don't have me singing serenading your chick. You seen what Usher did to families?
Oh,
Usher tearing families apart right now.
I will dump you if I see you in and Usher in the same room. Let alone, I don't even care if you're in the picture with this nigga no more. If you're in the same room with Usher, we done. I'm out.
I
Just
ain't
saying.
mad at it. I was
I'm
just
just,
saying, man.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying. My,
that's
my
straight
bad for the
facts.
rant. All right,
That's
yo.
straight facts.
So let me ask you, what aren't you doing yet that you need to be to further your success?
You know, I would say the next step. It's not that I'm not doing it, but I would say it's the next step.
Mhm.
Um, because it's on the agenda. I think the next step is to start going to more entertainment networking events. So I'm
Okay.
gonna start attending more like ASCAP events, or I have a lot of friends in the industry that might be taking photography or doing film for various artists. So
Mhm.
when they go to things, asking them, like, hey, would it be cool if I attend, or like, can I join? To start now being able to be in a position to make more formal introductions and introduce my brand to people more formally. I think right now what I am doing is pretty strong for an independent artist, which is why I'm really excited about my upcoming event on October 31st, Friday.
Okay.
The return of the 20 grand. It's going to be one of the more happening Halloween events, I would say, in Detroit. It's a 70s theme, which I'm sure you can appreciate. Disco event. And I think that branded experience is a super exceptional way for me to expose people to my brand and my music all in one aspect.
Okay,
So
where it's gonna be at though, bro?
it's gonna be at 4626 Third Avenue at the Third Street Bar, downtown Detroit, and that's like literally like a couple blocks down from Wayne State. So very much in the heart of downtown. It's gonna be a great time, man. And that goes from 8 to 12. So get your tickets online at the return of the 20grand.com. That's a great still an opportunity for you to do it, and then the prices will be going up at the door. So if you do want to attend, definitely do that. And if you're looking for a fit, I got a few different shops you can check out as well. TJ Specials as well as Vintage Flamingo. Two of the different vendor sponsors that are on this particular event, and they get you together with all the vintage thriftwear. So you can get everything you need to look great and fantastic. Far out.
I should have charged him for the plug though. Just
Yeah,
fucking
you should.
It's like-
Shameless
yo,
plug.
okay, so this is a question that I ask everybody that comes on the show that has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. But here goes. You're sitting on a park bench and God sits down next to you and says that you can ask him or her one question. What would it be?
One question. I would ask him if Solomon was the wisest man in the world, could I
Mhm.
please be the second wisest? That would be my question.
What would you do with the wisdom?
Man, I would change the world. I would world peace. I would figure out the issues within our community that we can't quite get our finger on, whether that's reparations for us, whether that's repairing, the social constructs that have destroyed and dismantled black families.
Mm.
Um, whether that's figuring out ways to re-empower Detroit where it's in a position where it's the Paris of the East. Not saying that we haven't made progress, but in a way that it's affecting middle class, lower class, and those that are more wealthy in a way that serves everybody. Flat leadership as opposed to just more like, the more dictator like approach that we're seeing in today's time. Um, I would try to just really, man, like I said, just try to uplift the world in the best way possible, man. Try to end poverty, try to end the things that,
Mm.
that really cause people to suffer.
I've always had different answers to that question personally. I think today I just want some lightning bolts. I want to be able to like shoot them bitches out my hands. Fucking people up, bro. I'm just going around.
You go
Like,
to
shoot,
King Zeus with it.
bro. You talking about nasty? Oh, please don't cut me off on the freeway, bro.
Oh, damn. That's some crazy shit. I don't even know how you respond to that one. You ain't pulling out no K or you ain't pulling out nothing, man. The man got a
Yeah,
lightning bolt,
bro.
bro.
Oh,
That
I'm
man
zapping the
lethal.
fuck out you, bro. Like
That
what?
man lethal.
All right, so
Police pull up on you. Please, man, step away from the lightning, please.
what? I was doing what? I was doing 82 in a 30 mile an hour zone.
Man, I could have sworn I just saw Raiden on the highway, dog. I'm telling you, I saw him. Had a
Yo,
lightning bolt and everything. No,
okay, so what's the most unique thing that you have witnessed in someone else's life that you did not know prior to?
the most unique thing I've witnessed in someone else's life. Mm, I would have to say a good friend of mine, Ebony Riley. We grew up in the same church. She was extremely shy. I mean, you can't get a word out of her shy, but super
Mhm,
cool, but just extremely shy. And she went,
mhm,
I think, to DSA Performance Art School, and she always had aspired to be a supermodel.
mm.
And but meanwhile, what we did know is like, I think they were going through a lot of different things growing up when we were young, and lo and behold, like she was always on that mission to do that. And next thing I know, I go into a store in Syracuse while I'm in grad school, and I see her face on the wall.
Yo,
And I'm just like, wait a minute, that's Ebony. Like, what's she doing up here? Like, we was just talking about 3, 4 months ago about her trying to figure it out. She was a cashier, trying to get her portfolio up in Cali. And next thing you know, I'm seeing her on the wall. And the next thing I know, I go to my computer and I'm seeing her in that commercial. Then I'm seeing her in my classroom. I'm seeing her. I start seeing her everywhere. Like she's in doing Top Shop
wow.
model in London. You talk about an underdog story, man. That was probably the most phenomenal thing I had ever saw. And now she's charting with her R&B music in addition to being a model. So it's just like crazy to see someone close shoulders who had a dream become a lucid dreamer.
Yo, that shout out to her.
Big
Cause
time.
that,
Yep.
yo,
Shout
that,
out to Ebony. Ebony Riley. Y'all check her out. She dope.
yo, you just gotta be ready. Everybody gets their shot. Not everybody
Yep.
is ready for the shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's next for you outside of the party, October the 1st? Like, are you dropping anything new coming soon?
Yeah, so the debut album will be the 31st. And then this
Okay.
weekend, I'm looking to drop maybe 2 or 3 records from the album just to kind of give people a little feel for the vibe. um, and then also maybe a couple singles over the weekend. So stay tuned for that. And then also going into the end of the year, I'm right now currently in the running for style icon. I'm also very much into fashion, so I design like like suits and streetwear and things of that nature. So I'm actually in the running for that. I'm in the top 15 currently, and that's the next cutoff before they do interviews.
Mhm.
So this would be round number 3. So if you haven't voted already, y'all can go vote for me on Style Icon. I'm ranked 7 out of 100.
Yo.
And moving up the charts a little by little. So with a little more support from everybody out there, your boy could be sitting somewhere top 5 as we make this next cut for the top 15 today. So yeah, so I'm looking to do that, man. The winner gets the chance to go to Milan for Versace's Fashion Week in 2026, as well as the prize winners of $26,000 and a feature in Flam magazine. So just grinding and building there, man, and as well.
Why 26? I guess. Oh, I guess for 2026. I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
I'm not tripping. I take 26 bands right now, hands down.
Man,
Yeah. You okay? So you win. Then what? What do you do with it?
should I take that money? That's seed money, man. First off, you look at some of the expenses, business expenses and debt, and you cover some of your bases there, balance your
Mhm.
books, and then you take the rest and you look at what other ways can you multiply that money over time. So some investments, diversify that portfolio a little bit, and then take the rest and start looking into seed investments to grow, that aspect of my fashion business.
How important is the visual image?
Man, it is extremely important, man, because what you see is the storefront. Every day you walk out, you're a storefront, man. Like that represents who you are. You know what I'm saying? When you walk out the door. So that visual image is important to represent yourself well. Um, and I come from a family that likes to dress well. So like my grandmother, she used to say back in the day, and I'm so sharp. I got to sit by myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's little things like that that just made me really appreciate and respect how I carry myself and how I present myself to others. And doing it with grace and style, man. When every time we step out and we say we from Detroit, either you're gonna get that sideways look or you're gonna get the, oh, you from the D? That's what's
Oh,
up.
come on, man. You got wait.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, and I know that the West Side is where fashion takes place.
Come on now. The avenue of
Mhm.
fashion.
Right. The East Side is like shout out to the East Side, but they can't dress, bro. It is what it is. I'm still looking for the pictures of my cousin and the Jerry curl. I know
Oh
my
my
auntie got
God.
the motherfuckers in it. And Dink, when I find the motherfuckers, I'm posting them everywhere. You best to believe. Jerry curls, yo, Jerry curls was nasty work. What's the
Man.
biggest fashion faux pas of your generation?
I would have to say, man, the baggy jeans was crazy in the millennium, man. You talking about the belt buckle? You know what I'm saying? Was you gotta have a belt buckle, and you had like you talking about the light up? They used to sell them at the mall, the little light up belt buckle with your name running across the joint, like, or you want to get the flipper, or some people was taking hubcaps off of people's cars and putting them on their belts. It was crazy.
That's insane. Although I will say that most of that shit my generation started. And like
Mm,
you literally was stealing the little piece off your hood on your car to use
oh,
for a
that's
belt
crazy.
buckle, especially Cadillac and Benz. Oh,
Yeah,
you
'cause
be
it's
on somebody's
round
bump.
shape.
Yeah, you be on somebody's bumper for 30 minutes pulling that bitch off, bro. Yeah.
That's crazy work, man. That's crazy work. I will say the
Oh,
Jerry Curl is probably crazier though, man. You probably getting off that pillowcase, you know what I'm saying, with a whole leak going down into
yeah.
the flow. Like they calling
Fucking people's
plumbers because you got the
couches
leak
up
going.
across the planet. It was a nasty time to be alive. Although the large t-shirt era, horrible.
Yeah.
And aging like Karen at this
Hmm.
point because those pics, y'all walking around with white dresses on in
Yeah, man.
unison. That shit was horrible. Yo, okay, so
Crazy.
on the fashion tip, is there an icon or somebody that you kind of like your Marvin Gaye of fashion, so to speak, or your Maxwell of fashion?
Ah, that one is an interesting one. I gotta say I like Garcon. He does some really exceptional suits in New
Mhm.
York. Um I also like I mean ASAP Rocky's pretty fashionable. Like I gotta give it to him. I mean he's my kind of one of my peers, but I think he steps out the box a little bit, and I think that's kind of like a similar landscape that I view when I when it comes to like putting together matchups and things. So um yeah, I could vibe that. I think he does that pretty well. Styles pretty well.
Uh, I think sometimes he does a bit too much
A
for my
little
old
more, a
ass.
little too high fashion.
When he had the little girl church 12s on at one time,
Oh man,
bro, what are
yeah,
you doing?
yeah, that's a
Like,
little wild.
yeah, man. Some of the shit motherfuckers be doing now is just insane, man. And
Indeed.
don't get an old nigga started, man, because I can complain about a lot of shit. Although I complain about my old shit too, so I don't discriminate.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you have reached the pinnacle of success. I give you a magic coin, and you can go back to any one concert in the history of mankind. Who do you go see?
I gotta go see MJ. I gotta go see Michael Jackson. I gotta see him, and I gotta go see him. I would love to have seen him at that Motown review, the
Mhm.
25, like when they had that review, man. Like either that or a Thriller concert. But man, like the 20 when they did that when the Jacksons reunited and they did
Mhm.
the whole thing,
Yeah.
electric, electric, man. And then that was that debut performance of the Moonwalk too. So to be in that building, to be in the room, to see all the greats performing, because you had the Temptations perform, the Four Tops perform,
It was
Diana
crazy.
Ross.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole catalog was there. That had to be
Okay.
one hell of a concert.
So what if I say you can go back, but that person can only have a guitar and a microphone? Now they don't
Mm,
have to be playing the
yeah.
guitar.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
I'm gonna
You know.
I'm gonna have to say either Prince
Mm,
or I would have to say BB King. I could go blues with it, but if I had to really pick
yeah.
one, I'm gonna go with Prince.
Yo, that's nasty work, bro.
Yeah,
BB King is disgusting, bro. That nigga is phenomenal.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that was. Yeah, I did not expect that from you, bro. Yo,
I'd be crate
Woo.
digging, man. Hey, man, I got vinyl sitting in the back right now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna have BB King playing the guitar for Scarface,
Mm, that's hot.
nigga. Yeah, I do. Oh my god, yo, I'm not sure. Yo, oh damn, woo! I've
That's
seen,
crazy work.
and I tell it all the time, man. I've seen Scarface live in like a really small setting.
Yeah.
You get the absolute most powerful performance I have witnessed with my own four eyeballs in my life.
Wow.
The- Crazy, yes. So absolutely, BB King.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that would be disgusting. Anyway, okay, so do you want to get signed to a major, or is the goal more independent for you?
Oh man, to be honest though, the world is different now, man. I mean, if anything, distribution would be excellent. You
Mhm.
kind of still maintain some creative control. You still made a major cut of a lot of your music when it comes to your royalties, your splits, the revenue that you make from all the paraphernalia and everything that's associated with your brand.
Mhm.
So you give up a lot when you get signed, but it's also some risk involved. It's like sometimes, it's just a business, like the business out of music. So it's like, okay, they might sign you and want to push you heavy. And if the market that they think that you should be going for, the way they want to brand you is working, then you in good
Yeah,
shape.
yeah.
But if their
If
approach
it ain't,
that you signed to agree to doesn't really gel well, then they can sit on you and you just collect dust.
man, and then
You
you
can't do
can't
nothing.
do shit. Yeah, man.
So that independence is a really big piece to give up. So I'll take distribution. I'll maybe even work out some loopholes within my independent agreement, but I think it might make more sense in this era where you're more digital and you got more access to, like I worked at an ad agency for 15
Mhm.
years. So there's
Really?
a lot of different things that I don't really need as much as much as I need the connections, the relationships, and the awareness.
How
You
has
know,
that ad agency experience helped you musically?
man, it's phenomenal because now I know how to tell a story. One of the biggest things we do when we were in the ad business was we come up with the big idea. We
Mhm.
do what is called a single minded proposition, and that helps you to conceptualize what is the big idea and how do you tell that story. How do you connect that story with the audience that you're trying to reach for to move that product? And so I can take that same analogy and use it with music. It's like, okay, what is the big idea? What is the story I want to tell? How do I
Mm.
deliver this musical product in a way that my target audience is going to vibe with it? So that helps. And then I can brand it with all the elements and strategies that I know from marketing, the 4 Ps, product placement, pricing and promotion. Like I can really put that into perspective. And even this event is branded. It's a branded event. Like I'm in partnership with Moet and Hennessy, Johnny Walker, Crown
Nigga,
Royale, Kettle
really?
One, Bullet and Woodford. Yeah, man. I
How
put the
you
legwork
doing
in.
it? You doing that yourself?
Yeah, independently.
Hey, we need to hire you, bro.
I'm gonna go
Like,
get it, man.
and speaking of that, do you do the same thing for other people?
I did it for so long that I decided that I was gonna build my own table. I got tired of building everyone else's table from corporate on down, like, and not doing it for myself. I was like, man, what am I doing? I said, my ancestors did that for 400 years. I'm gonna give them another 400.
I mean, or being that you were able to gather all of these extremely major sponsors by yourself. Oh, goddamn, motherfucker. Extremely major sponsors by yourself. You could say, hey, for $1,000, you can perform.
Mhm. That's
And
phase two.
I'm okay, because I'm just throwing a number out there,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
nigga, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So you can build the table, but add-ons,
Customize.
facts. Yeah, yeah. I'm just an old nigga in my basement though, bro.
I ain't knocking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, and in a shameless, unwarranted, and unpaid for plug though, I got to shout out 313 in Detroit on the Avenue of Fashion.
Hell
That's
yeah,
that's where I got my Aaliyah hoodie from. I love they fucking hoodies, though, bro. Like, and
man.
shout out
Shout
to
out.
Fame. Fame is just a real good dude and a very good representation of Detroit.
Facts, man. Shout out to Fame. Shout out to the 313 store, man. I kick it with them all the time, man. I park my old school up there and kick it with the homies. I had a cigar with them maybe like 2 weeks ago, just kicking it up at the 313 store. And
Yo,
yeah, man, great product, great people, man. Good look for the city.
absolutely. Okay, so you got an old school. What you rolling?
Man, so one of my old school, I got four cars, two project cars.
Okay,
Um, my project is a XJ6 93
a
93
Jaguar,
XJ6. Yes, sir.
the
Man,
Jaguar.
cream. And that thing is purring, man. You turn that engine on, you hear that Jaguar, you think you in the jungle somewhere, man. I'm telling you.
Oh,
And I got on the side, I got a decal, it say 007. You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
yeah. Okay, I fucks with that right there, bro.
And on the other side, it say down of the day.
Oh, okay. I like the touches. Okay, what else you rolling with?
Yeah, and I also got a S type all black S type all black 2005 Jag. So that one is like more like my like business meeting class, car. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
When I'm gonna do business meetings because it's got the Batmobile Bruce Wayne vibe to it. I got a 1970s Mercedes Benz 220D easel. That's my other project car. That one right there was actually ended up being an Olympic service car during the 1976 Montreal Olympics. So that one is a baby. That's a gem for sure. So I'm like, I got to get the new engine in there so I can really get her running. But she's just gonna be a project pony for sure. And then my all time favorite car is my BMW 328i convertible. It's a hardtop convertible.
Okay, but
Man,
you ain't got no American,
see,
nothing.
listen, man, listen. I rode American all my young years, man. My young 20s, you know what I'm saying? I had a Buick LeSabre. I had, you know what I'm saying? I'm riding around in Chevrolets, Man, listen, my granddad would be rolling in his grave right now if he seen I'm running around all these German cars right now, man. But
Oh, but they've always made just high quality vehicles.
quality, BMW,
Oh,
quality,
but
quality.
when them niggas break down, oh my God, that's just hella expensive.
Indeed.
You know,
Indeed. And that's why I be kicking it with the folks in Dearborn because they be having them connects, them international connects. I be like, yeah, let me go holler at the homie real quick and give me a shawarma and call it a day.
have you ever did the drive down Woodward?
The Dream Cruise,
Yeah.
nah, man. That was, I mean, it's too long for me, man. Like it's like, man, we just sitting there putting. I don't think I'm more of a cruiser, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get to where I'm going with the crew, and then we park it somewhere. Like Dream Cruise, man. You might as well be in traffic. Like that's a
Yo,
little different.
I wish that everybody could have experienced Belle Isle the way my generation experienced Belle Isle.
Yeah,
Because
man.
nigga, Friday night, Saturday night, and
Woo-wee.
Sunday afternoon, oh, buddy, all you needed was gas money. And it wasn't even like everybody, like not of course not everybody's got like shiny shit with on rims with sounds. And it didn't matter. Like it helped for them, don't get me wrong. But you was getting on if you had in an escort. Life was good back then. $5 was gas money.
True.
Oh my
You could be in
God.
the back seat and you in good shape.
Oh my yeah. And until
I used to hear
TLC came
legendary
out.
stories. I was still a young pup, but I used to hear the stories for sure.
Yo, nigga. Yeah, it was you would go to Belle Isle, you leave Belle Isle after the cops close it down, and then everybody head to Finkel in Wyoming.
And
Yeah, just roll around. That was the routine. Um, okay, so I give you $1 billion or immortality. Which one would you choose?
hmm, immortality. I could always make money.
I mean, first off, if you're an immortal broke nigga, you're the worst nigga in the history of worst niggas.
Worse. You just living to be broke.
Like, bruh, like
What are
you
you doing with your life, bro?
how are you eternally homeless? Like,
Bro, you had 20 lifetimes to figure that out.
nigga,
Like,
like, you still sleeping on benches? And you've been living for 7,000 years. And like, 'cause that's probably that's another one of the questions I ask people, just out of pure curiosity. Like, and my thing is, I don't want to live forever
uh,
because I don't want to keep losing people I love.
mm,
So
good
I'm
point.
gonna take the $1 billion because that $1 billion can make my lineage live forever.
You could.
It. I mean, nowadays, like, $1 billion ain't what it used to be, but I've never had $1 million, so it'll work
No,
for
a
me.
billion is different kind of money for sure. But
Yeah,
I've seen people lose money that they made so quickly. So ain't about how much you make, as much how much you keep, right?
and not to name no names or nothing like that, but give me a ballpark of like the most you've seen a motherfucker squander.
Man, oh man, what's homeboy name? Not well. They say AI was about to be one of them for sure. Allen Iverson, if his homies didn't surprise him on his 50th of all that money they had tucked to the side for him, he was struggling.
Well, no, he was always going to be better than most of us because of the deal he worked out with Reebok.
Mm,
Like he was going to it was going to be giving that man money for like decades.
thanks.
So, he wouldn't have, it's not like that nigga was about to be back in the projects.
True, true, true.
I know a
Uh,
nigga that told me from his face, he went from counting $1 million in his mama basement to being broke.
mm,
And I know he had the $1 million. And when he told me the story, I absolutely knew he did not have the $1 million anymore.
mm,
You know,
that's crazy.
that that is a classic example of how people have multiple vices. Most niggas that's in the street that are really successful, that's a vice for them. It ain't even the money, it's the hustle. Like
Mm-hmm.
old boy said, damn, what movie was that? Mackay Pfeiffer was like, "It's the hustle, B."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Eh, but at the same time, them niggas usually have wild lifestyles that are also their vices. And this nigga used to gamble. So
Mm-hmm.
when he stopped fucking around in the streets, he couldn't stop fucking around gambling.
Yep. That sensation he got from,
Nigga.
taking chances. Like Michael Jordan had that. You know what I'm saying? You seen it in the last dance. My man was out here gambling pennies. I'm like, dude, you can't quit.
Wish I'd have ran across that nigga in some dice.
Man, for real.
They have Jordan Jobs to this day. The JJ's nigga. I done shot my way into Nike lore.
Shoot,
Okay,
man,
back.
they said they done hemmed up my dog Chauncey, man, Mr. Big Shot, bro. They done
Yeah,
hemmed my
I
dog
seen
up.
that, bro. I seen that, man. And they going after the NBA for a reason, make no mistake, because that's the blackest sports league out here. The most
Yeah, that in the
prominent black.
NFL.
They ain't none of the NFL is still white dudes. Like they got everything that really counts. The NBA, we got some black owners, maybe one or two. But we got black coaches by and large, like it's a lot.
Hmm.
It's
A lot
just
more
and
representation.
and the players actually run the league as opposed to the league running the players. In the NFL, the
Yeah.
league absolutely runs the players.
Hmm. Flat
You
out.
know, yeah.
Yeah, Goodell not having that.
But at the same time, I hope my man. First off, I hope my man's not guilty because
Me too, man.
Chauncey's a
That'll
fucking legend.
hurt.
Yeah,
That'll
that'll hurt.
hurt.
But it sounds like you put yourself in some nasty situations.
Hmm.
Even if you're not doing anything, you're a coach, bro. So
Yeah,
you
man.
you know better.
Yeah, man. And not only that, bro, but like, bro, like y'all don't need that money. Y'all should need that money. Like, what are y'all doing?
It's not the money though, man. Like when you get my assumption is that when you get like when you've been rich for a long time, you got to find different highs,
Hmm.
and those highs generally involve other rich people doing some risky shit,
Hmm.
be it the stocks or gambling. I don't mean risky Diddy shit.
Yeah.
No homo
No
pause.
did.
No Diddy. But like shit that kind of gets the adrenaline going. And I think that's what these niggas be victim to, especially niggas that's used to the applause.
Hmm.
They still need a rush.
That's facts, man.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not used to the applause, so I think I'll be good. Why I can't have my millions right now? Actually, I
Cause,
will.
cause somebody just spent it in their mama's basement.
Okay, so I give you a time capsule, and I tell you to just leave one piece of advice for the generation 100 years from now. What would it be?
Invest in cryptocurrency. Invest in XRP. I would say. I would tell them get it now and get it in the bulk loads. I would tell them to that life is in front of them and not behind them.
Mhm.
So not to relish on things that they done yesterday, but focus on the things they can correct today for a better tomorrow.
That's dope. Yo,
Yeah,
I know you got a lot of shit to do. I fucked with the sunglasses too, bro. Those was dope. I
appreciate
like
it.
the third eye joints too, man. That shit was fire.
Thanks,
Anyway,
man.
um, if there's anything that we can do for you around here, just let me know, and we got you. It's been an honor and a privilege to chop it up with you, man. Anything you want to let the people know before we go? How to get in touch with you if they want to use your services or stream your music, whatever. Blase, please.
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you all for having me on the show. Definitely appreciate y'all for looking out and showing love. I do want to say for those out there that may not or maybe the first time, meeting me virtually, you can follow me on Instagram at THE_K to the H to the O to the I to the R. That's THE_KHOIR, the choir. Where you can follow me on the gram. My music is also underneath the handle the choir, where you can follow me on and listen to my music on all streams. My newest album releases on October 31st is called Brown Sugar and Spice. So really looking forward to sharing that with the world. Got some really exciting music on there. And as always, as I always say to all my people, the voice of the people is the voice of the choir.
Yo, and I'm sorry, I should have asked you this a long time ago. Where the fuck you get the name from, bro? I like it.
Thanks, G. So a couple things. I grew up singing in the church, so that's where my
Mhm,
roots come from. My dad was a
mhm,
quartet singer, and my grandmother used to sing with the Essie Moss. So they used to sing like the Clark sisters and different things back in the day. And so eventually that's where my roots came from. I sang in the choir most of my life.
mhm.
And then when I pledged Kappa, I was also dubbed the name Choir based on the character Choir Boy in
Mhm.
Five Heartbeats, and it kind of stuck. So as I grew into a man, I was like, well, I'm gonna drop the boy, and I'm gonna just go with Choir, and that's how I got my name.
You a noob, bro?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Supposed
Shout
to
out
say
to the
that.
notes.
You're supposed to say at the beginning, arrogant niggas. One of my
Hey
coolest
man,
niggas from high school,
it's
man.
just confidence, baby. It's just confidence, man. That's
Oh,
it.
whatever, man.
You know?
Where'd you pledge at?
I pledged at Syracuse University, which has an alumni chapter as well as an undergraduate chapter. So I was able to lock in with both guys and both groups. And Spring 14, shout out to Undisputed King of Diamonds and to my LB and Mari Childs in LA. Shout out to the homie. And shout out to all the Syracuse alumni chapter, the Saw City Noobs. What's up, Noobs? Um, yeah, man, we just show love, man. We all about achievement. That's what we do. That's what the noobs do.
I'm not mad at that, man. Shout out to the Noops, man. One of my guys was a Noop. I got an uncle that's a Noop too. He's an asshole though. So take that. I'm just be honest. Like you know, Unc. On that note, man, yo, you have a phenomenal evening on purpose, man. It's been an honor and a privilege. You're welcome back to Intellectually Petty Radio anytime.
Oh, dog. Appreciate y'all for having me, man. Love and light.
No doubt, man. Peace.
Peace.
Yo, you already know, man. See, I changed it. Okay, so you can see it better now. Because I changed the camera angle just a little bit. Because I got tired of looking at myself like this in replays. So I'm trying to be able to look at the TV. Because I got a big ass TV right here too, and the camera. And it looked a little bit more seamless, a little bit more polished. Anyway, this is Jobs. This has been another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio. Yo, shout out to the choir, man. It was a very dope conversation. Yo, and love the Jaguars, man. You got to get you a Jaguar if you can. I can't afford one at this point, but give me about 3 or 4 months, and yeah, I might go ahead and give me one. Anyway, we out of here. Y'all have a phenomenal evening on purpose, and come back in an hour and 2 minutes. We have Monique Nicole coming to the show. And that should be another amazing conversation. That's all I have is amazing conversation. Sometimes, man, I'm just boring as fuck. But that's another story. Anyway, I'll holla. Peace.